Hello you guys, and welcome to our channel. This is your reading for July the 10th, 2017, well, the week of July the 10th. This right here is my introduction to the actual video because I made a mistake and deleted it. So next will be the card of the day and then the reading for the week. I had to pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so the Inner Peace card came up with the New Beginning card. And so we have to work on ourselves. I'm having a lot come up in my life. Feelings that I thought I didn't have, or parts of my shadow that are coming out. And it really started with the full moon. And that's supposed to be happening on this full moon, actually. And so this card right here is showing you that in her journal, she's writing, I'm enough. So you need to take time with yourself and go inward and find the inner peace and know that you're enough. Know that, you have everything inside of you that you need to do what you need to do. You have everything inside of you to become who you need to become. You don't have to look externally. You look inward, and that's when everything else starts to materialize externally. So take time, go inward, and this is for myself too. I'm giving myself this advice too. Try to stay away from a lot of materialistic things in life right now. Try to just be more in tune with your inner self, because this is where everything is going to come into fruition once you go inside of yourself. So your new beginnings are starting to happen, but you need to make sure you keep your frequency up and stay in this inner peace, because this is where everything is going to actually materialize and come together. Because if you get off this track, you can, like in the one reading I did, I remember pulling the card about that we can sabotage ourselves pretty much. We can self-sabotage ourselves. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep our inner peace, look into ourselves, do inner work. And it's the card that's coming up next, and the next for the actual reading for the week or whatever is going to be... You're going to see what the card is anyway. But this right here, these two are your cards for the day. So know that it's a new beginning starting, but you need to find the inner peace. You need to, stay on your journey, stay on your spiritual journey, or whatever you're doing as far as, your self, what's the word I'm looking for? Your self-care. So, inner peace, new beginnings. These are your two cards for today. And so, let me go to the cards of the week. Before I jump into the cards of the week, I actually had to pause because my spirit guides were trying to tell me something else to say for the cards of the day. As you can see, for the inner peace card, she's writing inside of a journal that says, I'm enough. And so this would be a good exercise to do. Actually, with this tarot deck, it tells you a good exercise to kind of do. But you need to start a journal. Write down everything that you like about yourself, everything you love about yourself, and everything that makes you enough. You don't have to try to, be something for someone else, but make sure you're enough for yourself. So this is a good thing to do. Also, you can see she's eating kind of healthy in this picture, I would say. But I also feel like this is telling you also to take care of your body too. So be able to keep our inner peace, keep our frequency up. We need to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. So this right here is a great card for the card of the day. It's telling you to find your inner peace, and your new beginnings are starting to come into fruition. Okay, so that was the card of the day. Okie dokie. The cards that's starting for this week is actually the Shadow card, which I just got finished talking about, and Serendipity. So, I'm going to start with the Shadow card. The Shadow card, and this has been a topic for me for weeks now. My spirit guides are getting me to do more shadow work, to look into things, and I'm still not doing, what I really need to be doing. And I think this has something to do with me being my Taurus stuff or whatever. It's hard for me to let certain things go. So I'm trying to get past that barrier of not letting things go. And so some things, you just don't really want to face or whatever. And I think I'm kind of doing it, unconsciously and kind of consciously too, because I'm procrastinating and avoiding things. But I have started to do certain exercises for my shadow self. So I actually looked online and looked up, there was a website that tells you to do exercises to help, communicate with your shadow, and things on how to integrate your shadow. So I'm starting that. So, but this card right here is telling you that, you're going to be faced this week with your shadow. You're going to have a lot of different emotions come up about fear, guilt, sexuality, or whatever else that's going to come up that you're not going to like, something that you buried inside that's going to come up. and you're going to have to start facing it. And so if you want to integrate yourself and become whole, you have to face your shadow self. And we tend to think that if we just walk in the light or whatever, everything else will diminish. No, we actually, when we do that or whatever, we're actually, giving our ego or our shadow, giving our shadow strength. So we need to actually, become one with our shadow. And it's easier said than done, but, you have to start somewhere. And so this is just another part of your journey that, work that you have to do. We have to do work on this journey. We have to do individual work. And integrating with our shadow, finding our shadow is really important. So this card right here is just telling us about our shadow. So once you started doing your shadow work, serendipity will happen. Once you started integrating with your shadow and you start to using your abilities of your shadow and integrate and become one and become peaceful with your shadow, then you're going to start seeing signs. Things are going to start happening to your life for the best. And so we need to really integrate ourselves with our shadow. So that's pretty much the main thing that these two cards are saying, I believe. Make sure. Anything else? No. Okay. Nothing else for those two cards. The next two cards are Trapped in Fear and the Sacred Woman. Okay, trapped in fear. We tend to let fear take over in our lives, and we become trapped in this little prison that we've made for ourselves. So this right here card, the Sacred Woman card, is telling you, even if you're a male or a female or whatever, it's telling you to acknowledge the feminine energy inside of yourself. And if you don't, then, that's when your shadow and everything else starts to, acting out. And so, but we tend to be trapped in fear, and we let these emotions of fear that really has no kind of explanation why we fear some things, but we just do it, just human nature. We let these feelings inside of us take over, and so we're trapped into this little prison. And so once we learn how to get out of this fear scenario, then we won't be trapped anymore. And so, like, some of the stuff I do now, I couldn't have done like a year ago. I was afraid of trying to talk to the other side. I was afraid. I had a scare and all that kind of stuff. And so, but I got over that, and I'm at another chapter in my life or whatever where I'm kind of afraid, like I'm just gonna say it, afraid to face my shadow, and I'm trying to work on that. So that's something I'm working on. So try to get out this fear. Whatever you're fearing, whatever it is that you fear, it's something that you need to face, and that's part of your shadow. So do the work, do shadow work. Look up online, look up things about how to do shadow work. That's what I'm doing. And so so get out of this stage of fear. And so the Sacred Woman, we need to acknowledge the feminine energy inside of us. Even if you're a male or female, we need to acknowledge the energy. And you need to give her space to be able to, play her role in your life. And so as women, we need to walk into our strength. We need to, we need to care more about ourselves. We need to be able to, embrace our sexuality, embrace, being a woman, embrace everything about us. And so we need to just walk into our strength, walk into who we are. And we're these, perfectly divine beings. Males are too, but I'm just saying because I'm a female, okay? So we need to step into our strength. So these two cards, it's telling you, if you stay trapped in fear, and you need to acknowledge the Sacred Woman. So if you don't, it will be like a domino effect. It will trap you in fear, and then your Sacred Woman, the woman inside of you, will start acting out, and that's part of your shadow. And so it's just like a whole domino effect, pretty much. So honor yourself as well, and just make sure you take care of yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and don't let people run over you. Just walk into your power. That's what you need to do. So these two cards are the other two cards that I pulled, and this is an 8 right here. And so 8, I'm always having to look at these numbers. I need to remember these numbers. I really do. Power means power, authority, strength, control. So that's what 8 means. Okay, the next two cards are Emotional Withdrawal and Reparenting Yourself. So I was doing this kind of work. Reparenting yourself means that your inner child is telling you that you need to acknowledge it. And so this reading just goes hand in hand, because our shadow self comes from our childhood traumas. Sometimes there can be the minimum of traumas that we experience. We don't even realize what they are. Like, I have some deep issues that I don't even know what they are, and like where they come from, why am I feeling this way. And so but I have to do that kind of work to figure out where it came from in my childhood. But we need to pay attention to our child, our inner child. Our inner child will start acting out, and that's a part of our shadow, and that will start acting out. So as kids, we're always told, this is good, this is bad, this is evil, this is not, and we have this program in our brain. So we're pretty much like a blank slate when we come out. Our parents and people that we know, trust, and love, they're not doing it intentionally, but they put these limited beliefs in our head, and it's hard to get rid of them once you're adult. And I've been talking about this for days lately, probably weeks now, that's why we have so many screwed up adults, because of the childhood traumas and incidents that happened. That you really can't blame the parents, because they didn't know it was done to them, and so it was just the domino effect, just continually to happen. And so since you know this now, you can try to help change some of your parenting styles within your relationship with your child as well. But this isn't about your child. This is about you. This is about healing your inner child. So you need to do the work on healing your inner child. Have a conversation with your inner child. And it says emotional withdrawal. You're going to have to withdraw from the world. And this is for me too. I've been more into materialistic things lately. And I'm going to have to withdraw from the world and just cut off. And so you have to withdraw from the world emotionally and physically as well. And go and find that inner peace and become one with yourself and become one with your inner child. So to do that, you need to have a conversation with your inner child. There's some kind of videos on YouTube that you can look, and they're like guided meditation to help you meet your inner child and stuff like that. And so this is something that I do when I talk to my inner child. I visualize my inner child. I visualize being a parent of my inner child now. And so I'm telling her that I am going to take care of her. I'm here. No one can hurt her anymore. And she doesn't have to worry about, trying to defend herself. So, and then you will see your inner child blossom. And you have to have this dialogue constantly, though. And that's what I haven't done. I've, told her this and haven't had this constant dialogue with her. And so you need to do that constantly so you can reassure her. This is, I'm saying it's like a separate being, and it kind of is, but it is yourself as well. But this is your inner child. This is something that you have to heal inside yourself to become whole. And so this acts out as your shadow. And so, what I tend to do or whatever, I envision us in this white room. Depends on what I'm doing with my inner child. But I'll tell her that, you are safe. You don't have to worry about anything. Me and Larry have you or whatever. And I tell her, because you are your twin is you or whatever. That other aspect of me, that masculine energy, has her as well. And so, yes, so we need to become one with our inner child. And I believe that's all these two cards are telling us or whatever. Make sure. Yeah, that's it. Take time, meditate, go inward, and have a conversation with your inner child so you can do some healing work of your own, so you can integrate yourself. So, I believe that's it. So we're going to do a review of the cards. So, review of the cards are New Beginning and Inner Peace. Those are the cards of the day. So, once you go and have the inner peace, find the inner peace inside of you, you're going to see, your new beginnings are already starting today. But you're going to start seeing more and more and more. So, but you need to go inwards. Do not self-sabotage yourself. And find the inner peace. Do not let the outside world, mess with you. Do not let people in your life that are negative mess with you and stuff like that. Go into yourself. So, those are the cards of the day. Now, let's review the cards for the week. The shadow and serendipity. Do shadow work, and this all goes hand in hand. Do shadow work, become one with your shadow, integrate your shadow, and then you will start seeing things in your life, serendipity. You will start seeing things in your life happen, and it'll just be like, oh wow, this is work you should have been doing for yourself. So integrate your shadow, then you will start seeing changes in your life. Okay, trapped in fear and the sacred woman. So, if you ignore the sacred woman inside of you, male or female, if you ignore this part of you or whatever, it's going to be like, once you ignore this or whatever, you're going to be trapped in fear. And then once you're trapped in fear, you're going to be enclosed, and it's just the domino effect of things. It's just a lot of bad, mojo. So anyway, the sacred woman, heal your sacred woman, heal yourself, become one with yourself, your feminine energy, male or female, walk into your strength, walk into, don't let people run over you, and just be that strong, successful woman, and as a male, embrace that feminine energy inside of you. And so the feminine energy inside of you wants you to acknowledge her as males and even females. Acknowledge that, that you're strong and you're standing in your divine light. And so get out of this thing of being trapped in fear. Don't be afraid to face your shadow. Don't be afraid to, embrace, men, the feminine energy that you have. And a lot of men are afraid to embrace the feminine energy. And so there's nothing wrong with it. And so embrace that part of you and become whole with yourself. And so the last 2 cards are emotional withdrawal and reparenting yourself. You need to go inward, take time out, become emotionally detached from things in your life, and go inward and do your own work. Find your inner child. Talk to your inner child. It's time to have that conversation. It's time for you to heal your shadows. So therefore, you need to do the work. Find out, what happened in your childhood that made you think this way. Have these limited beliefs that are stopping you from manifesting the things you want in your life. And that's where a lot of our things come that we can't manifest in life because we still have these buried issues, and we need to face those issues. So reparent yourself. Talk to your inner child. Tell her or him that you're there for them. They don't have to be afraid anymore. Whatever happened, they can put that in the past. That you're their parent now. You're their protector. And just make sure they know that. And whatever kind of dialogue you have with your inner child, make sure you let them know that. Reassure them, that they're safe. But you're going to have to go inwards. You're going to have to be emotionally withdrawn from everything else to be able to do this. So that means meditation. So, pretty much. So, this is your reading for the week. Your cards of the day and reading for the week. I'm trying to make sure anything else my spirit guides want me to say. Let me see. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so it's nothing else they want me to say. So this is your reading for the week and your cards of the day. And I will be back next week with another reading. And the video is up for the reading of the month of July, which is a really good reading for July. And yeah, just step into your truth, step into your faith, and do that shadow work. This card is coming up a lot. This is coming up a lot, I see, for a lot of people. We need to we are light workers. We need to step into what we are. And to do that, we have to integrate with our darker shadow self. We can't just walk in the light and expect our human aspect of us, things that happen in us, to just disappear. No. They're going to come up and they're going to act up in your life. And they can really, cause destruction in your life if you let it. So, talk to your inner child. Do inner work. Acknowledge your shadow, become one with your shadow, talk to your shadow, integrate with your shadow, get out of this fear pattern, and you will see everything else in your life manifest. Make sure you, as males or whatever, get in contact with your feminine energies. Females, walk into your feminine rights, and just embrace everything. Just embrace life in general, and try to let things go. So that's your reading for the week. We'll be back next week with another reading, and make sure you check out our website. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our channel, and you can join our group if you would like to. So the links are going to be at the bottom of this video. We hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace and love. Goodbye.